Bill Munson was a 3-year letter winner at quarterback in the early 1960s when the Aggies had a record of 25-5-1. As a senior, he led the Aggies' run-oriented offense to an 8-2 record while setting multiple passing records at the time. He was one of 5 Aggie football players taken in the first round of the NFL draft. And in a 16-year pro career, Bill Munson played for the Rams, the Lions, Seahawks, Chargers, and Bills.
He wasn't a starting quarterback just yet. Like you said, he had a couple of upperclassmen that were coming in. And so the alumni team needed, they were shorthanded on some players. And so Johnny Olsen was the coach, and he put my dad over to be the quarterback of the alumni team. Well, there was a scout in town from the Rams, and they were there to look at Merlin Olsen because Merlin Olsen was getting ready to graduate. And the scout from the Rams, his name was Vic Schwank. And he was there to see Merlin, and after watching my dad play on the alumni side of the field, he said, hey, I need to flag this guy. He came in as a senior and kind of lit it up as far as yardage goes. I think he ended up 4th in the nation for total passing yards. First of all, he took Utah State to a bowl game that year, but he also got to play in what was the Senior Bowl today. Back then it was called the East-West Shrine Game, and he performed really well there, was named the offensive player of the game. And so really good senior year for him, and he was definitely on the Rams' radar probably just prior to his senior season. We talked about what his major was, and I think it was sociology, something like that. You know, being a young married man and my mom and dad having a baby and living on campus, he told me that he played both offense and defense while he was at Utah State, and that he had a really good senior year. And looking back on it, he played with guys' names that I still remember, like Clyde Brock, Tommy Larscheid, and Merlin Olsen. So those are some names that I remember from the past and some of the stories that he told, and had a chance to meet a couple of those guys over the many years. And then in San Diego, it was with now Dan Fouts wasn't a young quarterback at that time. He was probably right in the cream of his career. But I remember bumping into Dan Fouts when I was in San Diego, and I was in the Navy and I was stationed there, but I bumped into him at a restaurant, introduced myself, and he goes, oh, man, your dad was so fun to be with, and he could command a huddle. And then I heard the same thing from players in Buffalo when he was there. He really was, in their words, a field general who didn't take any guff in the huddle, and he could tell everybody what they were doing. And that comes with experience in the NFL. He could tell the linemen and the running backs and the wide receivers all, what their responsibilities were. And so, they appreciated his leadership, and I think he had that throughout his career.